Next up, we have a question from Caleb. He says, how do you overcome the fear of making sure you are providing enough for your children's future while saving for your own? For context, I am an expectant father, so congrats, first of all. That's exciting. So is it a legit fear to ensure that I am setting her up for the future while also providing for my wife and I? It's such a hard balance to strike. So yeah, potential new dad, he's like, oh man, what am I going to do now?
First off, congratulations, because it's awesome. Having kids rocks. It's a super fun thing. So it's a fun journey you're about to be on. It's hard, right? Because there's a natural struggle that when you hold that baby for the first time, I think it was Ryan Reynolds. He's like, I would jump in front of a bullet for this kid, right? Like, and I just met them like today, and they're amazing. And so we want to do everything as parents in our power to provide for them and to create a life that is better for them than our life was for us, and all of these things. But what that naturally causes us to do is it naturally causes us to act in a very irrational manner. We start trying to take care of them and provide for them before we've made sure that we've put ourselves on solid foundational footing. And so what I would tell like a new expectant parent is focus on the non-money stuff when it comes to your kids. Focus on loving them well, teaching them well, raising them the way that you want them to be raised, teaching them the things that you want to know. And if they get to adulthood, if they get to age 18, 19, 20, and they've got those things, but they don't have a trust set up for them, and they don't have a big bucket of money, they are going to be well equipped to go out in the world and go create the big bucket of money. But if you've not taught them the skills that matter, the skills that are necessary to be able to translate that later in life, this is going to be a much harder road for them, even if you leave them a bunch of money. So I would argue, I would not get so caught up on the financial stuff. Focus on the soft stuff, especially when your kids are young. Make sure that you and your spouse are on financial footing, because we say this all the time. The single best gift, one of the single best gifts you can give to your kids is not having to move in with them when you retire. Now, unless you want to. If you want to, that's totally cool, but not because you have to.
Yeah, I'll kind of echo that in the fact that the easiest path here, go get the financial order of operations, moneyguy.com/resources. Go get your food for you. If you want to accelerate that, you've listened to us talk about it, you'd be like, I don't want to go watch every video these guys have done. How do I accelerate? Go to learn.moneyguy.com. We actually have a deep dive course on the financial order of operations. But that's going to help you to kind of do exactly what Bo was talking about, prioritizing, getting your why figured out so you get your financial household in order. You also model good behavior for your child so that you're setting up not only yourself for success, but you're setting your child up by modeling those real world successful behaviors down the road. And then guess what? If you do this the right way, there will be that opportunity when you get around step 8 of the financial order of operations, start saving for, college and other types of goals like that. So, because I think your obligation as a parent is really to make sure that you're creating good humans that turn into productive and good adults down the road. So it's not necessarily setting up, can my kids be loaded? Because I know we even have the Young Savers. You can go to moneyguy.com /resources, and we do have the money multiplier for Young Savers. And it is pretty exciting to see that for, a brand new newborn, I only need to invest just a little bit of money because their dollar is worth $647.
Amazing.
If I invest that right, we only have to save $13 a month to get them to be millionaires. That's super, super exciting. But the thing that creates true success is making sure that they're equipped to live life productively and to have the life skills to do well. So I would focus on getting your life in order, doing the financial order of operations. When you get to step 8, you can do the college savings, and then as they get their first jobs, don't worry. I think it's very valuable to prime the pump. Get them to dollar for dollar match as they start wanting to invest or fund those custodial Roth IRAs. You help them make that happen by priming the pump. Once again, these are life skills that will serve them well. When they buy the first car, tell them that you're only going to pay for half of it, and it's got to be matching dollars, because if you can get somebody to have buy-in, that's your biggest thing, is you are modeling good behavior, teaching good life skills. It's not to create mega millionaires before they have even the skill set to handle that. I think that's something that, because your job and responsibility is not to leave a legacy of millions of dollars for them. It's really to create make sure your kids are equipped with the life skills to be productive. And this is why, I mean, we had a studio tour yesterday. Matthew came through and super successful, works in the IT field. And he was like, man, I had to pay for college. I had to do this. And I felt like I've learned so much about life that I don't know, just because my wife and I are successful now, that I want to take all of that from my kids, because there is something about having that scarcity or that struggle. So just make sure that you're building enough into the plan, because if you give your kids only easy street, you might be setting them up to be more economic dependent on you and not having the life skills. And that's why you see when you go back to the old, Millionaire Next Door, when Dr. Stanley and Danko were doing their research, they found that millionaire families, typically their adult children were pretty self-sufficient, because if you've got a bunch of adult children that never failure to launch, that's a long-term legacy issue that means that maybe we skip some steps.
Yep.